Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44. Question: did Marcus Morris get finessed? So I just got through watching a little segment on FS1, and basically the gentleman, I think it was gosh, I don't want to get people's name wrong, but it was Jason Whitlock, Katino Mobley. There's two other people on the show as well. My boy Marcellus Wiley, and gosh, who was the fourth face up there? Might have been Jim Jackson. I think it might have been JJ. But anyway, they were talking about Marcus Morris's situation with the with his contracts. Basically, the Clippers reportedly had an offer on the table for 3 years, $42 million, and he and his representation, Rich Paul, at the time, passed on that. Of course, Rich Paul, we all know, is representative of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So the conspiracy theory is, since Marcus Morris is known as someone who gives LeBron James problems, they definitely did a good job of keeping him off of the Clippers. But my thing is this. Yeah, he ended up having a San Antonio deal that he reneged on. I don't know what that was for, but I know he ended up going with 1 year, $15 million for the Knicks. He's going to have a nice role with the Knicks. And I think the Knicks are going to overachieve, but they are highly stout at the power forward center position. So they really don't need Marcus Morris to play anything other than a three. And I think he's at his best when he's rotating between the 3 and the 4. Stretch 4 is probably his best look. So anyway, we'll see how that works out. I have no real feel for what the Knicks are going to put on the floor, but I can guarantee you they ain't winning the championship. We all know that. So with that being said, the Clippers are obviously a championship caliber team. I think most people have them at the top of the list with us and Denver and Philly. Those are the teams, Utah, the teams that people are excited about this season. Marcus Morris had an opportunity to be a part of that team. And I'll tell you what, if you ask me, he ended up firing Rich Paul. I think I probably would have parted ways with Rich Paul as well under the circumstances if they were as described, because it does look kind of fishy. Basically Marcus was led to believe that he could probably get a better deal, and they misjudged what they had and ended up missing out on a really good deal. Plus, this was before Kawhi Leonard made his decision, so to not be able to read the tea leaves better, I guess, is something that people would be upset about. Rich Paul probably had no clue what Kawhi was going to do. But even if Kawhi did not go to the Clippers, $41 million for 3 years would have been a much better deal with that Clipper team, without Kawhi Leonard, without Paul George, for Marcus Morris. It would have been just fine for him to have that deal. Better deal than either one of the two deals that he ultimately ended up getting offered to him. So, did he get fleeced? Yes. My answer is yes. He got fleeced. He got fleeced pretty heavy. Now, was it a conspiracy theory thing like it looks like it may have been? Who knows? I can't answer that, certainly. But I do respect the fact that he decided to part ways. I think it was the best move. He's going to be free agent next year. It's a really shallow free agent pool. He has a chance to maybe have a breakout season with the Knicks and take on a bigger role, maybe even make himself a starter on that team. And who knows, maybe he can come up and try to get that deal next year with a different team, or maybe even, something that comes up. Maybe he can get that 3 years, $41 million. I think he's only like 28, 29 years old. So, there's another payday coming his way next year. But I would love, like, from a player fan perspective, I feel sorry for the guy. As a Laker fan, of course, I'm glad Mo Harkless is there with the Clippers instead of him. That's who ultimately, I think, got his deal. Look, the one who ended up getting the worst off in that situation, in my opinion, is the Clippers. Out of everybody involved, the Knicks, the Spurs, himself, Rich Paul, out of everybody who got the worst out of this whole thing, it's the Clippers. Why? Because they could have had Marcus Morris. Do you know how good Marcus Morris would be on this team right now? Shooting threes and playing defense. That's one more three-point shooting wing that we would have to deal with. And I'm going to tell you right now, I know Mo Harkless is a fairly young player. I know he started his career off in Orlando, didn't really do a whole lot. Made his way through Portland, turned himself into a defensive player. But I'm going to say that I would rather have Marcus Morris, and I'm going to say that with a whole lot of confidence. Let's just leave it at that. So the Clippers are ultimately the ones that got fleeced the most out of the situation, in my opinion. Although I don't think I would have loved the $41 million 3-year contract for Marcus Morris, I certainly would like it a hell of a lot more if I'm a Clipper fan than having Mo Harkless on the team at that same number or whatever number he ended up getting. I think it was the same number, but I'm not certain. Anyway, so yeah, I want to stay as consistent as possible. News is going really, really slow right now, so I don't want to just be getting on here saying, hi, I have nothing to say, goodbye, just to stay consistent. But at the same time, when things do pop up, and hopefully they do fairly often, I will get on here and give you a couple seconds. And, just stay in your face a little bit so you remember who I am. And hopefully you continue to support and continue to give me feedback, whatever you see fit. And, I'll tell you this. Early on. I'm really not the guy that's really paying attention to a whole lot of numbers in terms of how am I doing, who's subscribing, that kind of thing. I just want to make sure that my content is something that I'm pleased with. And I believe that if I'm pleased with it, then the rest will take care of itself. So I'm not the guy that's going to be like, okay, like and subscribe, please. That's just not my energy at all. It never has been. I do want to be successful. I do want to be supported, but it's not something that I'm going to try to push on to you. If you like what you hear and you like what you see, you know what to do. We all have YouTube. We know what it is. So that's how I approach it, and I just want you guys to know that all of your support and everything that you do is very much appreciated. Good and bad feedback is very much appreciated, and consistency is what I'm about. So I'm going to try to continue to do that for us. All right? Take care, everybody. Be blessed, and God, this is about to be a very long off season. Jeez.